mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here.
Welcome back to another episode of, I don't know if we're calling it Ride the Rebellion anymore, or if it's become the Zero Drop podcast.
I think Zero Drop sounds pretty good.
I think so too.
Ride the Rebellion, Zero Drop.
Brought to you by Ride the Rebellion, whatever. We're going to go with Zero Drop. So welcome to the Zero Drop podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Drew Hall, and with me as always is, what is it, the king of the Southern king of turn down, Dale Boyd.
Man, my northern folks are going to be really mad that I'm a southern king of anything. Well, actually, it's kind of like those Pepsi trucks that just troll Coke. It says the Southern Original.
Yeah, that's exactly
and it's clearly not at all.
It also makes me, at any point, will we ever hear you say Roll Tide?
No. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Whenever I see it, and whenever I hear it, I'm just like, oh, they get to park up front. That's cool.
When you finally get there, when you finally get to that point, there will be some day that you'll be forced into a corner, and that's when you've truly lost all of your Yankee roots.
It's not happening.
It's not happening, he says.
Not even close.
Not even close. Welcome back to another show. And, we're going to keep it pretty easy on this. We may be weekly, but I think right now our rhythm is every other week, and that feels appropriate. In the meantime, though, there's plenty of content for you to hang out on. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you're missing out. So if you head over to the YouTube channel, there's a video that there's a couple of videos. One of them is just recently dropped, and it's the story of Bug. It's quite funny, and the Bug Rug, rather, his jump, and it's kind of how we're doing our stuff. Instead of it being a series of videos where we just focus on a rider or a bike or just show you absolute gimmicked shots the entire time, we decided to take all the trails that we're working on, maybe as inspiration for those of you out there that have to do the same thing. So we decided to take those and make our trails and put them in a way where there's a story behind them. So they're like, as my kids would say, they're trail tales. And so that's what they are. And you get to learn a little bit about this trail and the person that built it. And it's just a different way of kind of, like we are, it's a different way of looking at mountain biking.
Absolutely. And being on the Gulf Coast, I always hear, oh, you mountain bike on the Gulf Coast? There's no mountains. Well, yeah, who wants to ride up a mountain? Right. Like, I'm totally cool with having a gradual downhill.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So I think that our Trail Tales is a great name, by the way, but our Trail Tales is a great way to see what we're doing one trail at a time, instead of just taking it as a whole and trying to explode it or figure out what it is. It's just nice to see, hey, this is what it is. This is how it started. This is who built it. This is who's riding it. And this is kind of the lines you can take while you're riding it. It's kind of cool.
And it's the same thing. It's the idea here is that hopefully it's inspiration. It serves as a source of inspiration for somebody out there. As we say, like any of the flatlanders or the rest of us that don't have access to, our bikes aren't pink is what somebody put in another review, which I thought was great. Our bikes aren't pink. So, we got to ride with what we got. And so maybe this will serve as a little bit of inspiration. We did get wind of a spot. We won't drop anything yet, but we did get wind of a spot. There's another group that kind of reached out and like, hey, we're doing the same thing. And that's kind of cool. There might be some kind of weird network that starts to form out of this where we start finding all these rogue builders.
Yeah. It's not to step on you there, but it's pretty sweet. They reached out and they were like, man, we're already doing this. We know what your goal is. And they're actually like quite a few steps ahead of what we're doing. And it's pretty awesome that they saw us and we're like, hey, that's cool. Let's check it out. And while we're on the topic of who saw us or heard us, we had tons of people give us great feedback. We got text messages from tons of people. We got feedback on Apple and Facebook and YouTube and everything. And maybe by the end of this, we'll draw a name from a hat from one of our Zero Drop people.
That's exactly right.
So somebody is owed a T-shirt. So
somebody's owed a T-shirt, a custom
one-off. You're going to be the one of one.
That's it.
The Zero
it's
Drop
like an
podcast.
NFT of T-shirts.
Oh, man.
Oh, my shit. You should make NFT shirts.
Oh, wow. We're like
nobody
artists.
can steal that. I'm claiming it right now.
It's already bought. Just bought the domain name.
Shit. We got to go do that right away.
Man, that was deep.
Yeah.
So we actually are just spitballing right now anyways. We had hoped to get guests on, but everybody's kind of scared to come on the #1 mountain bike podcast in all of Mobile, Alabama.
In the South?
In the South.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and take that claim.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
We
own it.
If there's somebody else out there, let's go. We'll have a podcast battle.
Yeah, I'm down.
This is the second one.
Yeah.
It's 2 versus 0.
We're 2 for 2 at this point. We didn't have a guest roll in, but we did want to kind of keep the rhythm going and keep the ride alive. And so I think one of the things we were just going to kind of focus on was just the idea of what motivates you. Why do you ride? What keeps you going? Because that's one of the tricks, right? There's days where, there's trails that make me not want to ride anymore. I won't say which one it is. I don't want to trash it, but I rode it again. I rode from my office up to it, and I rode this trail again. It's just so boring. And I went up to ride it, and I saw Dale, and he was like, "Hey, dude, you got to check out this new section he cut." And he literally took one of the most boring trails in the world. Again, I love it because it's a home trail. But he took it, and he added a little segment, and it's a great segment. If you haven't ridden it yet, you need to figure out first what we're talking about. Secondly, again, I'm not going to trash anything beyond that. But just that little moment, that little new niche was like a little inspiration, a little wind beneath my wings to keep me going. It's little things like that sometimes. What are some of your, what's some moments for you? Obviously a new bike. You have a new bike.
Yeah. New bikes are awesome moments. New trail, obviously the whole new trail thing, but I think that I keep myself signed up for races that I shouldn't be entered in just so that I force myself to go ride when I shouldn't be. Like yesterday, right. I rode 30 miles and just around the neighborhoods, and it was like, I don't want to, but I have to. Right. And then the group ride stuff. Group rides keep me riding. I only mountain bike for the friends, I think. I'm the same way.
I think I got into it from Jacob, who is, the kind of the godfather of, he's the old man, I guess is what we really should say.
And he's not even older than us.
He's not, yeah. But Jake's floating around somewhere. And then him and Todd Hall, they both kind of drew me in, and then we all met. And it's one of those things of you get a group of people, and then some of this could be, I'm going to say that it's gender free, but maybe not. I don't know. I only speak for one. But so my perspective is then I get a group of guys. They're good. They motivate me. We kind of push each other along when we need to. There's joking and kind of razzing that needs to be there. Mm-hmm. But there's never this introduction of pissing on each other's shoes. Yeah. Those people seem to phase themselves out.
Yeah, or we phase them out because we just piss on their shoes.
That's right.
I think I've always said
Instead of one guy pissing on your shoes, you get a whole group of dudes.
It's like a circle of, never mind. We're not even going there.
Nope. Mm-mm.
So I always say this too, that mountain biking is super cheap as long as you ride by yourself. Mm-hmm. But if you have friends that mountain bike is super expensive. It's like totally golf. Accurate. If you just go golf by yourself and you have your Walmart clubs, you're fine. As soon as your buddy comes out there with a TaylorMade driver and drives it straight down the fairway, you're like, wow, it's got to be the clubs. No, your buddy probably plays 7 days a week.
That's exactly
just
right.
like what we do. We'll go on these group rides and we'll have new people show up, and they'll be like, man, I just can't keep up. My bike's not good enough, and they'll buy another bike, and it's not even the bike. You can just pedal and pedal and pedal. It's all about seat time. And whatever you can find that motivates you, like Drew said, originally my motivation wasn't racing. My motivation was I want to prove to these guys that are mountain bikers that I fit in. And I think that was my original goal, was fit in, just fit in. Yeah. And now I forced it. Just fit. If it doesn't fit, force it. Has been quite a motto.
It just rolls right through it. He's like, I'm crashing in. Here he comes. Bam.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you guys don't like me? Too bad. Follow me.
Yeah, right.
Let's go.
The other side of it too, though, is the group ride thing. I found that my skills got 10 times better when two things happened, and it was great motivation. One, I was riding a lot with Todd and Jake at the time, but I was riding a lot with Todd, and then when I started riding with Todd, he would tow me in, so I'd feel motivated to chase him. So my speed went from, rider starting out again, I was 7 or 8 miles an hour. Yeah. And then suddenly I'm up to 10, and then I'm cruising to 12, and he's on an e-bike. So he's a little bit of a cheat, but he's keeping me and I'm staying on it. And then times he would drop back and get behind me and he'd be like, hey man, you're doing this wrong, and then all of a sudden my riding would constantly, then you get in a bigger group and you get the people who start motivating. Mm-hmm. And that's that. Once you have that group and you have somebody towing in and somebody behind you and you're helping each other out, and then offering to teach once you have enough confidence, dude, that is talk about making you a better, at least to me, it makes me such a better rider to ride with somebody and stoke them up. One, just praise them and give them, not if they're doing something dangerous, right. Cooper without a helmet. I'm calling you out, Coop, forever. Yeah. Love you, bro. But that kind of stuff. Or two, it's the other side of that is, you lift them up, you get them going, or you're actually helping them and encouraging them in a different way.
Yeah, and I think it's really awesome. We had this between us that had happened once. We were training for a race at Bethel, and I kind of I don't know what I'm doing with mountain biking. I mean, I'm still learning myself, and I just do what I think is right. And Drew was trying to learn the lines, and I kind of laid down some little tips that I picked up.
Yep.
And he used them during the race and was like, dude, there's no way. Like, just
I came in third in my first race.
Yeah.
In the old man category. Well, the kind, what do we call it? The kind of old man
kinda
category.
old man category,
The kind of old man category. But still came in third in my first race. Then two dudes that beat me smoked. I mean, I smoked a lot of other people. I passed a couple of guys in the round before me.
Yeah.
But it was because of that. And I told you, I was like, dude, you're the best coach ever. Like, straight up. That kind of stuff is like, I have goosebumps.
Yeah, it was
legitimately
awesome.
goosebumps because it was that much of a magic moment
Yeah,
to
and
get coached and then see it pay off.
Right. And even for me to like hear that, oh wow, what I was doing was right. Maybe, you know, I mean, I got first, so I guess I was doing it right.
You did it right.
So I did it right. But I mean, just learning like that, and we learned together, you know, because we went on the same day. Neither one of us had ridden the course. We we played around with some camera stuff and filmed some puddle jumping, and we also learned the lines, and it worked out. So that was kind of cool, and it's cool to learn things like that. And listen, if you're mountain biking, or if you're working, or if you're playing golf, basketball, whatever it is, surround yourself with people that want you to be better.
Yep.
As soon as you start surrounding yourself with people that want to be better than you and make you feel like a piece of shit, you're only going to feel like a piece of shit. You're not going to want to keep doing it.
Yeah, you're going to be a turd with sprinkles.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be a turd, and you're going to have this beautiful bike, and it's all sprinkly, but you're a turd with sprinkles. Or those people are the same thing, right? So,
and then you have spandex on.
And then you have oh man, we had to get one in.
Oh, I got one in.
One jab in.
And I say that as I texted a guy yesterday. Bo's going to go ride with me. Bo's a spandex guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to train next week for the long race.
Bo's a beast.
Bo's a monster.
Bo. So here's the interesting thing. Nicest dude in the world.
Oh, but I love Bo to death.
He invited me to ride with him one time. We had just gotten done riding at Blakely, which for those that aren't in this area, Blakely's like, for this area, I would consider it, for specifically in the Mobile, Baldwin County area where we are, that's like the best trails, not counting the Reb, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Those are like the best public trails there are. And I just done like 14 miles or whatever. And it's not hard, but there's some challenges in it.
It's tough. It's hard.
And then Bo comes around and he's like, hey, Drew, you want to go ride with us? I'm like, all I can think about is I look at Bo's Strava from time to time, and it's like 30 miles, 40 miles, 52 miles. Like, he just crushes it.
75.
Yeah, he's a beast. And so it's like, no, no. There's no. I appreciate his kindness in inviting, but there's times where you got to bow
The thing
out.
about Bo that I love, I can't wait for Bo to hear this. We're going to have a Bo love section for a second.
Hey, I'm all for it.
But the thing
Bo knows.
Bo knows we love him. So what I think is awesome is we started riding a couple years ago. I mean, he had been riding for longer than I had, but we were at the same level kind of. You know, we were racing back and forth with each other, pushing each other, and he has taken another leap. Like, he personally took it on himself to go from a Cat 3 racer to a Cat 2, and now he's racing Cat 1 and kicking their asses too.
He won.
He won his first Cat 1 race. Yeah.
And
so
it was brutally long.
Yeah, and he's put in the time though. He can't.
Yeah.
He's put in that seat time to make himself better, and he's done it on his own. Maybe with his buddy Brian, but it's not like somebody else is out there like, hey, Bo, you need to go ride. Like, no, he's just doing it on his own. I think it's awesome.
The thing that's really fascinating about that sort of motivation to have that is that he set like a series of goals.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I do think there is some level of mountain biking. Your goal could just be relaxing. I got a buddy that's just, his pedal time is about just chilling. And that's great. Just know what it is and don't deviate if you can. I mean, obviously modify your goals, but don't get discouraged. That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah. The discouragement, I think, and I see people do it to each other, you know, and it's not even so, not in our community. Our mountain bike community is pretty tight, but like just everywhere. It's so, somebody just said the other day, they're like, man, every time I do anything, my best friend just like kind of craps on me about it. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why is that your best friend? Like, that's kind of an enemy to me. And I don't know. I guess we've all dealt with different things throughout our days. We're not perfect by any means, but
No.
I make fun of people all day long.
Same here. I mean, I'm a creative guy. Like, that's what I do. You're a creative guy.
Like, I will literally go sit at Mardi Gras parades and just make fun of people.
Sure.
Like, not to them, but to myself.
In my brain.
Yeah.
There's like a little Larry David up there for
trying
me.
to start a TikTok of just people of Mardi Gras.
Dear God.
Hey, think about that.
Yeah.
People at Walmart was a hit.
Yeah. Oh, there's some pretty
Put
crazy
that
stuff.
on the NFT shirts.
NFTshirts.com. I'm gonna have to go buy. I bet that's gone. That's
Hey,
gotta be gone.
there's actually a podcast I listen to, a fantasy football podcast, and these dudes bought TuesdayNightFootball.com, thinking
Wow.
there would never be a Tuesday Night Football.
Right.
Well, because of COVID, they pushed a bunch of games to Tuesday night, so those dudes were like, "Hey, we already own it. Let's do it."
That's
pretty
brilliant.
awesome.
That's totally brilliant. I think the other side of things is staying motivated. Sometimes it does require a little bit of spending. And that requires a couple of things. One, I think sometimes the smallest part, if you don't have a ton of money, just a little part can go a long way. Like whether it's new grips, which, arguably, I saw some guys are riding. What are those really high end ones? They're like, they have like these.
Rev.
The revs. I see some guys spending that, but then you can also go get some ODs for
Yeah, the ODI road
Yeah,
grips
they're-
are
yeah.
$30.
$30.
Yeah.
And I've seen even cheaper. And the reality is, as long as it locks on and you don't lose a nipple when the bar hits you, you're fine.
Yeah.
So that's one way, is just change out your grips or do something like that. Or you can go bigger and you start looking at that new bike, or you can part one out, or you upgrade your wheels, or whatever it
No,
is.
there's a great way, and I saw it just Tuesday with Michael. He rode with us in our group ride, and he changed his tires.
Yeah.
He changed his tires, and he went from not anywhere close to us to riding with Bug and I during our conversation.
Did
the
he
whole
go
time.
wider or what?
More
small-
narrow? Yeah,
oh,
he got some smaller tires, and
Yeah.
he's like, "I can't believe this changed everything," and he was so excited. So
It's huge. I went from 2.6s to 2.4s, and
Yeah.
that was a
the
massive
tires
difference.
are going to change your whole world.
Absolutely. I
Once-
kind of thought
that's
about.
that's the contact to the ground. So that's
So I think of tires and I think of the trail and kind of go that route. So like, hopefully we can get up to Chattanooga soon. Or it's got to warm up a pinch. But when I go back up there, I'll put the 2.6s back on because there's some great chunky stuff. Great. It'll be perfect for it. But otherwise, the 2.4s that I'm running now are kind of that. So yeah, tires is a great one. And that's not super expensive.
yeah, because we
It
ride
can't
on
be.
sandy sidewalks here. So.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. I think that's one portion of it. And I think the other, so there's a cheap way to do it that way. Another way financially is to go out of town. Just that little trip. Now, gas is pretty high right now, but still, we're taking one coming up soon. There's a big group of us going. Hopefully, the rain doesn't knock us out.
Yeah, we're going somewhere.
We're going somewhere. That's true. And so we'll go out of town just to mix it up. And you just get out of town and suddenly it's a whole new space. And, I'm a first time ride junkie. Like my favorite thing in the world is to ride a trail for the very first time or forget it and then go back.
Yeah.
I just like that energy.
There's
of
a
it.
feeling, and I've talked to addicts. I'm not an addict myself. I guess maybe I am an addict of everything I do. I go full blown. There's no half-ass with me. Like it's
Right.
either he's completely obsessed or he's not. Like it's wagons, it's bikes, it's basketball.
So if it were
it's whatever.
heroin, it would be like you would grow the poppy.
Yes, I would have to do the whole entire process.
Right. The full thing.
But that's what I've talked to addicts in the past, and they said that like they constantly chase that high of the first time, and that's what we're doing. We're just addicts trying to chase the high of the first trail.
totally. Look, it's the truth.
The first time you ride a trail, there's nothing better because
Right.
you don't know what's next.
No, I love that little bit of fear mixed with
Right.
it's a real test of my skills because I can't plan for I absolutely adore it. Obviously I'm cautious on that stuff. If it's
Yeah, I
a
was
double
getting
black.
ready to say, you just go ahead and just bomb
Full
it.
send it, bro.
Whatever,
No.
whatever happens.
That's fun stuff. So that's one way you can go cost. The other challenge I feel like as motivation that we run into is that, and this isn't trashing that stuff because it has its place. But I mean, if you look at the amount of media that exists in the mountain biking world, we have to remember they're trying to sell bikes
That's right.
or parts or whatever. So the stuff we see, I've seen some wicked stuff. And as a filmmaker, I'm like, dude, that shot, we've talked about them before. Like, bro, I don't even know how. And we've kind of done our own like analysis of stuff. But at the same time, and we try and shoot cool looking stuff. At the same time, the reality of it is like some of that stuff could be motivating, but some of it could be a little bit of damning if you're like, I'm never going to be that good.
or intimidating.
Or intimidating. I dodge fail Fridays and send
Yeah.
it Saturdays. I don't like to see that stuff.
It's cringy.
No,
Right?
it scares me.
Well, plus the other thing is like we're coming at it like we spent last Saturday filming some pretty sweet shots,
Right.
And some pretty awesome stuff that makes us look better than maybe we are.
Well-
but I mean, it's just cool. Like the
Right.
shots are cool and it's relatable, and I think that that's the most important thing. Like,
Right.
let's be relatable.
So yeah, if that content's out there and it's in your Instagram feed or your Facebook or your whatever
And
feed,
if it's not, it better be.
well, put it in there for sure.
That's
Like subscribe. But I mean, even other stuff like I watch a lot of Nico's stuff. Like I like his story, and he's doing stuff. That ain't me. I know that, but I enjoy it because it does kick the stoke up a little bit. And once it gets to a certain point, I'm like, I gotta go ride.
Right.
So it's just kind of a way, at least for me, to kick motivation over during downhill season. Like that's challenging for me because as soon as a race is on, as soon as the race is over, I'm like, I'm ready to go. I think I want to go ride.
Well, and the thing is, like we we just want a reason, an excuse.
That's true.
And I think that once you get to a certain point where we're talking about mountain biking on a podcast, so we're at that point.
We're at that point.
I think, but this has been for me, this podcast has been so crazily exciting. Like I was telling a guy in the carpool line today, like dropping my kids off. I'm like, dude, you got to listen to it. And he's like, oh yeah, man, that sounds awesome. I'm like, he has no idea even what a wheel is.
Right.
But I'm like telling everybody, like that's how excited I am about it. And this is motivation.
Right.
Like, I need to ride more to have more stories about for our podcast. Like, why?
Yeah, that's the thing.
What is
and
that
then
thing?
hopefully get more group rides. Like
Yeah.
I mean, the goal has always been I jokingly said it earlier, but if there was a network of all these little private groups building up, there's nothing wrong with the organized group. It's just kind of fun that there's a whole little collective of people out there with the same mentality that's like part of the rebellion, and they all want to jump in and kind of have fun. That'd be a killer to start finding these places. And again, if you're not following us, or more importantly, if you're not, in this case, for group rides in this area, if you're not on social media, that's cool. We get it. But if you're not at least checking out some of the sweet potato stuff, because like that's where a lot of rides get posted.
Yeah. And the funny thing is I manage a sweet potato social media. I got 2 messages today like, hey, I'm coming to Mobile. Where should I ride?
Right.
It's funny that we are now the voice of Mobile mountain biking.
Right.
It's kind of crazy and it's ironic. And I get tagged in things. I'm not from here. And everyone knows. Everyone here does. But I'll get tagged in things in Birmingham when somebody asks a Mobile question. And I'll get tagged in things other places. And maybe it's just because I'm out there. I put myself out there, which I'm fine with. I mean,
But that's also motivation, though.
yeah,
I mean, that
It's
drives
cool.
you even further.
It makes me want to be that person that people look at and like, hey, he's the face of mountain biking in Mobile. I'm cool with that.
Absolutely.
I'm fine with it. Nobody else wanted to do it, so I'll go ahead and take it.
And then it's always the last little thing that I think is fascinating is just being the person to put yourself out there. Like, you could be totally shy. I'm not saying get out of your comfort zone, but maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like I would go to Tuesday night rides and Todd wouldn't be there and Jake wouldn't be there. So my 2 friend anchors would phase out. So I'd be like, I just got to go talk. Dale, no problem. He'd come up and talk to you right away. Like one day I was fucking with a camera. I shouldn't have said that. I'll beep it.
Nah, there's no beeping.
I was messing with a camera and here comes Dale. He's like, are you okay? Like, because it looked like my bike was broken, but I was literally just repositioning stuff.
I didn't really care. I was just seeing.
Yeah,
I was like going to make fun of you if you weren't.
Yeah, I figured you probably rode 5 feet and was like, what a jackass.
I was actually thinking about bunny hop. I was like, maybe he'll stay right there. I'll do a
let's
turn
go.
down over his head.
Oh, jeez. But point is like putting yourself out there a little bit to have the conversation so you can like, and so anywhere I go ride, I'll talk to anybody that's there. And if they're a jerk or they seem intimidated, I'll back off. But if they're a jerk, then I'm like, yeah, cool. Just chalk it up to there's an asshat everywhere.
And I don't get it. I mean, like I said, I even when I ran for the board of the local IMBA organization that I'm a part of, I stood up and everybody's like telling why they should be part of this. And I stood up and I was like, look, if you don't know me, we haven't been in the same parking lot together yet.
right.
Literally, I'm going to talk to every single person because why not? Like we should talk to each other. I think it's super weird. Like Tuesday night, there's 10 of us in the parking lot fixing one kid's bike before we took off. Somebody pulls in, unloads their bike, doesn't even look at us and just takes off.
Right.
It's like, I would at least be like, hey, who are these guys?
Right.
Why, like, hi, this is who I am. I mean, granted, maybe they're a time crunch. Maybe, who knows what they got going on. But if you're going to do a sport or if you're going to do anything, be a part of it.
Right.
Be a part of what's going on. Be a part of it just gives you another reason to wake up and not go to work and be mad about, I got to go to work and I got to go home and I got no friends. I got no hobbies.
Right. When it's standing right there or staring you in the face.
Right. And we're all like-minded people. Sure, they might not all be your best friends. That's fine.
So some of it is that, but that's what I mean by being approachable too. Some of it's the intimidation factor of like, you come out on your hardtail.
I would be intimidated.
Right. And then you told your story last week about the first time this where Zero Drop came from. Right. But like, that's one part of it, but it's sometimes it's like, you've got to be that person to make that first and be like, hey, how's it going? Mm-hmm. I think it's probably even more intimidating maybe for people who are of a different gender. Because a lot of times I'll just roll into the parking lot and I'll see somebody be like, hey, how's it going? How's your ride going? And it might be slightly intimidating for a dude to kind of approach that way, but I try and always keep it that. And same way from a woman, like talking to guys, like the other way around, like it can be. But reality, if we just remove all that crap and say, hey, we're riding bikes, then...
Yeah, we're literally just children. riding two-wheel
That's
bicycles.
exactly what we're doing.
Like, I'm just trying to extend my childhood. To
That's
be
right.
honest.
That's totally it.
All it is.
Look, if they made really epic trikes, different story.
They do.
Like Hot
Have
Wheels?
you seen those guys doing those drift trikes in their neighborhoods?
No,
like
that
they started
sounds
a
amazing.
gang. It was awesome.
Okay, I might be into that.
Another hobby. Sorry.
No,
Sorry, Casey.
Here's our next podcast.
Yeah. By the way, tune in next week for
From bikes to trikes.
super badass dudes on trikes. 1%ers.
1%ers, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
we say this is a mountain biking thing, but to be honest, let's just do this, like approach everything in life like this. Like, you need a hobby. You need an outlet. And if we learned anything from COVID, it's that if you don't have something to do other than work, then you need something.
Oh, yeah.
Because if work was canceled or you worked from home and you didn't have anything else to do, what were you doing?
Right.
I mean, you just find something before you end up, just give yourself a reason to live, basically.
Plus, you need the vitamin D. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
COVID proved that almost everyone in the U.S. has a vitamin D deficiency.
That's right.
So at least go get some vitamin D. It's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about? I was going to throw the Rebel of the Week. I found a guy. I'm going to throw it
I
at you.
searched for some.
I searched for some.
I found one. I'm actually going to reach out to them though. Like, actually, literally.
Oh, you should do it.
Yeah,
we could probably have this guy on. I think it's fascinating. So I found a guy named Dane Beardsley. You ever heard of this guy?
No.
He rides for DK.
Oh, okay. I saw with DK.
Right.
From Kettering.
So he still rides for DK.
Wow.
He's a flatlander, so he does nothing but flatland ride and dirt jump, right? But not like anything mountain style. What I found fascinating is he's got to be in his 40s and he's still riding flat. And that's all he cares about is riding flat. Like, and he is passionate about it. Like, he talks
Those dudes
about
are
it.
impressive.
It's super impressive.
Yeah.
It's brutal. But like, his thing is finding a big empty parking lot, whereas we're going the opposite. We're looking for as much crazy elevation. But this guy's motivated and has stuck with it, and he's been riding that stuff for, I think, 30 years. He said,
Wow.
And he's professional at it. So how many flatlanders? That stuff went away in the 2000s, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
I mean,
gone.
like Gene jeans and flatland bikes just disappeared at the same time.
That's exactly. You know what happened is they all got ate up by ICP.
Oh man, the last cult following the Juggalos
Yeah,
mount
man.
up.
The Juggalos are going to come rolling in doing flatland tricks with their Gene jeans.
Man.
That's
the
when they
90s were
invade.
terrible.
Yeah, that stuff was bad.
But the halftime show though, might as well drop that. Everybody else is talking about it.
Well, the halftime show was brilliant.
All right.
I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. The funny thing is, I saw a post that was really great. It's like it listed all their accolades. You have a tech billionaire,
Yeah,
because
right.
people don't think about Dre being like he's a genius.
Mm-hmm.
You have like all these icons, and they listed all the stuff out, multiple winners and all actors and all this stuff, and they're all in that mix with like beyond accolades. It is the definition of the American dream. It is people that came from nothing and built empires.
Yeah, they were rapping about having money.
Right.
Now they have so much money they don't rap.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I said, and I think we talked about this. We're going off on a different subject, but since you're in the ad world, I thought it was incredible. And we talked about it at my Super Bowl party, how every single ad was literally tailored to our generation.
100%.
Every single ad. It was almost
100%.
like I started getting like weirded out by it. Like, just stop. Like,
Yeah, it was crazy.
is there a Metamucil ad in here next?
There
Like,
is
what?
nothing, and it was all geared that way.
I was waiting for Alf to pop up on something. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's very nostalgia right now. Must be very profitable, right?
Yes.
And so that's one side of it. I you know this, but I have another podcast where I talk about that stuff, and like that Coinbase commercial. You posted a great quote in that. Thank you, by the way. But that Coinbase commercial was nuts.
It was
like
crazy.
most people I knew thought it was a gag on The Office.
Well,
There was an episode of The Office where there's a screensaver,
Yeah.
and that's what they thought it was, and that's like pretty inventive, but again, super tailored. So people over our age, I heard a thing that was like
Yeah.
people over 50 wouldn't scan it.
Well, no, and like, yeah, my dad called me the other day and was like, "So what's cryptocurrency? What are NFTs?" And like, I feel dumb when I'm explaining it.
Yeah.
Like, because do I actually know? Because I don't. Like, I'm just spitting words out. Like,
Right.
okay, Dad, but I don't know. I bought some a while ago. He goes, okay. So what's that mean? I'm like, I own some.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's
My dad got into crypto by buying a stock that's a fund of crypto.
right.
So it's like, Dad, you didn't really get into crypto.
No, it's like buying that Delta 8 stuff and acting like you're smoking weed.
That's exactly right. Hey, listen, I had a bad experience with Delta 8. I took way too much.
Oh man.
And it's a mind journey. It is not like, it was not mellow weed. It was
Right.
like super mind 3000.
Yeah,
It was rough.
I'm another hobby I should stay away from.
Yeah, don't. I didn't enjoy it. I think that's more or less it. Is there anything? Oh, we got to draw a name. We got to do a name.
We got to draw a name.
And should we put in another secret word?
Oh, we do need another secret word.
Yeah. Oh, we need to make it a hard one. I have one. I'd like it to be potatoes.
Brotato.
Brotate. Can you work in bro or potatoes into a sentence to let us know that you listened to it and you can be eligible to win some other prize? Maybe we'll give away something else.
Yeah,
I'm working on it. Oh, I got to plug the sponsors in there too.
Yeah, we need to get a sponsor drop. Hey, because our sponsor benefited from our last one.
No, I just added a new one. So we have Clean Eats. So Clean Eats is a chain of places, but the Clean Eats in Mobile, I'm working on getting us a deal, whether we get a percentile off or he gives us some stuff to give away. So you can either get like meals made from those guys, or you can walk in and they have a freezer of pre-made meals. And so they put all the macros, if you're training, which is where it would make the most sense, they put all the macros on it and the food's good. Like it's not just boiled chicken and it's like beef stroganoff and pizza rolls. It's weird stuff that they've broken down and made it work. So that's one side of it. We
Not
also
by broken down like into a shake in a blender, right?
yeah,
Like,
it's
no,
all drinkable. Clean Eats, no, it's all food. It's real food. And the great part is it's easy stuff. So like you can throw it in. They even have a really good, actually their cauliflower crust is the best as far as health and flavor. It is fantastically good. So we have them, and hopefully soon we'll have, so shout out to Clean Eats, but hopefully soon we'll have something to give away on that. And that could be, again, meals or a discount or whatever. But it is good food, and it's great fuel. And if you're trying to follow certain things, you can go down that path. Who else do we have to knock out real quick? You want to talk about Lucky Shot?
Yeah, Lucky Shot every week.
Yeah.
She still kills it in the coffee game.
Yeah.
And this week, she's probably still mad at us for cuddling coffee bags, but I'm not mad because that coffee's still good.
It's
never gonna
ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
make sure you go to, and I've had people ask how to get it.
Yeah.
There is luckyshot.com, luckyshotcoffee.com.
Yep. You can go to luckyshotcoffee.com. If you're in the Mobile area, I think you can pick it up at Satori, who also serves her coffee, which is fantastic. Right. So if you'd like to try a cup, go to Satori, which now we've kind of sponsored those guys and gals. But if you have over, my thing about Lucky Shot that's straightforward is I, as an old man, this is sorry to go the brotato part of the podcast, but the one thing about her coffee is it, for me, felt like it had very low acid. So I got very little like acid reflux from drinking a cup of coffee. That is definitely an old guy problem, but it's a real one. So that's what I really enjoyed about it. So if you have a chance, go try Lucky Shot Coffee. You can pick it up at Satori in Mobile, or you can go to luckyshotcoffee.com.
What? Wasn't there another little segment we were going to drop? Because I'm a child of the 80s that knows nothing.
What do you mean?
The Star Wars, Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll save that. I'm playing that one out a little bit better.
Man, because that could be brutally bad.
That'll be maybe we'll do a prize pack. We'll figure out to do a prize for that one. If Dale gets so many right, then
somebody wins.
That's what it is. All right, so I tell you what. If you can use the secret word in a sentence, which is potato, brotato, if you can use that in a sentence, then you'll get entered to win, and we'll pick two people. And either somebody bets on Dale or you bet against him.
Man, good
and
luck.
all he's got to do, and I'll be completely honest, is play a little game called Star Trek, Star Wars. That's it. And I'll just give a name, and we'll see what he lands on.
Man, that's so bad. Can we just do like...
There's a picture of Princess Leia in my office, and he was like, is it... He didn't even know who it was. And then he brought it up. He's like, the only girl I remember from Star Wars was the lady in bikini. She's literally in the metal bikini. In my...
It's embarrassing that I learned who Darth Vader was from my 8-year-old daughter when she was 8. And I mean, it's not embarrassing. I guess I was busy in the 80s.
It's more than that. It's the 70s.
Whatever it was. I've actually said this, though. I might be the only person that was born in the early 80s that has watched Star Trek in order. 1, 2, 3,
Star Wars.
Whatever it is. Star Wars in
order. I don't
think
you've ever watched a Star Trek. Have you?
No, I don't think so.
No? I'm going to make you watch the first Star Trek movie.
Sounds terrible.
The
Star Wars though was
you
watched
them
in order.
You watched 1 through 9.
So like people are like, Luke is my father. I'm like, what? It's not even in this movie. Like, What are we at?
Yeah.
So whatever.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we still
30 years later.
We still have to do the drawing for the T-shirt.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're waiting on. So we've kept people in suspense, so they listen to the whole damn episode for the drawing.
All right. Well, let's do it.
All right. Well, we're going to draw out of a hat. Official.
Yeah, super official.
We need some kind of gimmick.
And the winner is Gabe Wiggin.
Gabe Wiggin!
Great job, Gabe.
You won your shirt, and
we just need your size and you get a lucky shirt. It's gonna be one of one.
Yeah, it's an NFT.
You might have a Sharpie marker just written it on there.
I'm telling you, I think it's gold.
NFT shirts.
NFT shirts.
Actually, I drew some pictures today of some awesome neon hats.
Oh yeah, I'm all about
we gotta
those.
have some podcast hats.
We're gonna have some we're gonna have some Zero Drop Rebellion podcast merch soon.
Yeah, and so I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing us ramble on, but just promoting more stuff. We got the bug rug video coming out.
Yep, that drops
really quick.
It'll be here
Friday.
if it's not already out.
Yeah, get it out. Yeah,
It's probably already out.
Whatever.
Yeah. See, you'll learn that trick.
I don't know those tricks.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
It's like Star Trek.
Star tricks. All right, well, I think that'll wrap it up. Thanks again for listening, and keep motivated. Go out there and keep riding and do everything you can.
Share with all your friends.
Yeah.
Share.
And you
Get
can
us out
follow
there.
us. What do you do the plugs?
You should follow us everywhere. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
What are you got to
on the
drop the
internets.
names.
Ride the Rebellion on
There
it
it is.
all.
There it is.
Everything.
Or you can also follow the Sweet Potatoes.
And you can listen to us on Apple,
Yep.
Spotify,
Yep.
Anchor,
Yep.
YouTube,
Yep.
everything.
Yeah, and to be up for our next prize, all we need you to do is leave a review, leave a comment, leave something, and mention potato brotato in the sentence. So
Hey, and tell us something you want to hear us talk about.
yeah.
That'd be awesome too.
Also, if you'd like to be on the show, please hit us up. You can hit us up at ridetherebellion@gmail.com. Again, that's confirmed. We have that email now. ridetherebellion@gmail.com if you want to be on the show. We'd love to have you. We'd love your insight. Maybe we'll even open an audio chat line soon enough. I'll throw that up there at some point where you can kind of leave your own comments, and we'll listen to those live, which could be terrible.
That could be awesome. We got a call.
It could be so rated hard. All right, stay safe. See you soon.
Right on.